Hogwarts Legacy captivated millions of us. It was an unforgettable experience, taking us into the magical world of Harry Potter, and it became one of the most successful games in recent history. And now that we are a couple years out from the first game, nearing the 3-year anniversary, what is the status of Hogwarts Legacy 2? We know the game is actively in development, but there is a storm coming, Harry, and we all best be ready when she does. Because a potential corporate sale could threaten the entire project before we even see a single trailer. But at the same time, we've been hearing Warner Brothers time and time again consider Hogwarts Legacy 2 as a top priority, as the first game sold over 30 million copies. Does the future of Hogwarts Legacy 2 and Harry Potter video games hang in the balance? The success of Hogwarts Legacy was, and I'm not even exaggerating this, astronomical for the studio, Warner Brothers, and Avalanche Software. It was the first game in years to beat out Call of Duty in its launch year, which is pretty unheard of in the industry. Like, if you're not Rockstar Games, you're probably not going to be beating out Call of Duty. Now, a sequel for Hogwarts Legacy wasn't just expected, it's been demanded by millions of fans ready to just dive back into the wizarding world. And as of right now, we know that Avalanche Software is hard at work. The momentum is there, the demand is there, everyone is ready. The developers are, doing what they do in developing. So what could possibly go wrong with Hogwarts Legacy 2? Well, the answer isn't with dark magic or a goblin rebellion, it's in the Corpo boardrooms. Warner Brothers Discovery is looking at strategic alternatives, which basically means that they're fully up for sale. And no, we're not talking about just like the, one division, we're talking about the entire thing. And the list of potential buyers includes some pretty massive players. We've heard reports about Paramount, who've actually sent multiple unsolicited offers to buy the company, but they have been rejected multiple times. But Netflix has reportedly hired financial advisors and are working with the same company that Skydance Media worked with in their sale of Paramount. Basically, Skydance Media has been gobbling up as many companies as possible, and Paramount is now Skydance. And Paramount is actively looking to consolidate even further. Like I said, Netflix has recently gone in the fold, and they're looking at, trying to buy either the studio or even just the IP. And according to the recent news, they've actually been given access to Warner Brothers financial data, which is a pretty interesting and I guess scary step. But you're probably asking yourself, what does this mean for Hogwarts Legacy 2? You're a gaming channel, why are you talking about the corpo stuff? Well, when a company like Warner Brothers Discovery gets acquired, the new owners come in and look at every single project and decide on whether or not that fits their vision and what doesn't. A new parent company means new leaders, new plans, and the old priorities get completely moved away so that the new priorities can become center stage. This also means that projects that were once a sure thing that have been, fully greenlit can get delayed, changed, or even just like straight up canceled. Now, the team at Avalanche Software is caught right in the middle. I really feel bad for them because it's like history is constantly repeating itself. Avalanche Software was previously known for developing the Disney Infinity series, and they worked with Disney. They were a company that was owned by Disney, and then they sold, and then Warner Brothers bought them. And now we're in a situation where Avalanche Software might be acquired by yet another company. And for them, it's got to be scary. Like, imagine pouring years of your life into building this world that so many people absolutely love and just pouring your heart and soul into it, only for a dude that's a quadrillionaire to make a decision to just decide to buy the company and leave development studios like Avalanche Software kind of like sitting there thinking like, am I gonna have a job still? Is this project still gonna be going forward? Again, I do think it will, but let's be super clear. The stakes for WB as a whole, WB Games and just everyone, is like super high right now. Before this announcement of the sale, Warner Brothers had already been restructuring the gaming division to focus on the key franchises like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, DC, and Mortal Kombat. Now, following that announcement, it was a clear sign that they were committed to Harry Potter and all of those other IPs I mentioned, but a buyout could potentially shatter the future plans of all of those games. Like, imagine Netflix buys WB. They don't really know games. They're literally a streaming service first about movies and shows. Sure, they've got like mobile games, but they don't really know the gaming landscape. And if, let's say, Netflix buys them, the future of Harry Potter and gaming, and even like Batman and other DC projects, could be decided by people who literally don't know what they're talking about. But in the wise words of Albus Dumbledore, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Simply put, it's not all doom and gloom just yet. Honestly, I wouldn't even really worry about it too much. While the corporate drama that's happening is real and it's like a real threat, There are some pretty obvious reasons to think that Hogwarts Legacy 2 is not only like totally safe from a buyout, but we are actually approaching the 3-year anniversary of Hogwarts Legacy. It could be that the game just releases before a potential buyout even happens, but also there's statements from the CTO that have essentially confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy 2 is their biggest priority. And that's the simple fact that the undeniable success of the first game is going to ensure the second game gets released. Again, Hogwarts Legacy shipped over 30 million copies. It was the best-selling game of 2023. It wasn't just a hit for a weekend, it was a financial juggernaut. And 30 million copies sold is a lot of money. And in the world of corporate acquisitions, an asset that is as valuable as this one isn't just a line in a spreadsheet on their financials. It's literally a money printer. So for any buyer, whether it's Netflix or Paramount or Universal, which is kind of my hope, the franchise is a guaranteed revenue stream with a massive and engaged audience of people who are just dying to play the next game. So potentially harming the sequel or even the future of the franchise would be a really dumb move. And like I mentioned before, Warner Brothers already knows this. They've called Hogwarts Legacy sequel a very big priority. And as of right now, the only like official confirmation that we have is that it's a very big priority, but it's also full steam ahead on development. This brings us to the timing. So as you guys know, the first game came out in February 2023. And as we head into early 2026, hopefully we get to play GTA 6 soon, but we are coming up on the 3-year anniversary of Hogwarts Legacy. And in video game terms, we are 3 years in the development of the second game, at least we hope so. But the 3-year anniversary of Hogwarts Legacy 1 could be the perfect time to drop a teaser, to reignite the hype and remind millions of people why they fell in love with the wizarding world. In my opinion, it would be really smart for them to just drop an announcement saying that the development is ongoing, or announce that they are currently in production of the game. Something, literally anything, would be enough to bring the hype into overdrive. Now, a reveal teaser or something like that would obviously be nutty. I doubt it would happen, but you also have to consider this. If there is a potential acquisition for WB as a whole, what better way to drum up excitement for a potential buyer to kind of show off all of your assets for the whole world to see? So dropping an announcement or a teaser for one of the most anticipated sequels in gaming would be a really smart move. So if the development is ongoing and the core of the game is safe, at least we hope, when can we finally expect to play Hogwarts Legacy 2? Honestly, we are flying pretty blind right now. The first game took about 5 years to make, and while the team at Avalanche Software has a new engine and assets to build on because they are using Unreal Engine 5, a AAA sequel will still take a ton of time. I would say that if Warner Brothers lets them do their thing, the game is likely to release sometime in 2027 or maybe even later. It would make sense to have the sequel release around the same time as the Harry Potter HBO series, which I will die on that hill. I do think that the marketing will be planned to coincide both the Harry Potter show and the game, because apparently the stories are also going to be interconnected as well. It just makes sense. But that could be a bit too early. Like, at least season 1 could be too early. They'd kind of just have to let Avalanche cook here, because the last time they cooked, they made this game. So if they want the sequel to be successful, then they should do the same thing this time around. It also means that the sequel will probably be a true next-gen experience, likely targeting just the PS5, Series X and S, PC, Nintendo Switch 2, and whatever the next consoles are. So where does that leave Hogwarts Legacy 2? We're currently at kind of a crossroads almost. We've got two forces that are pulling at the future of Hogwarts Legacy 2 and the rest of the Harry Potter games. On one side, you have the craziness that is a corporate buyout, but on the other side, you have like all of that momentum of the first game. It was a financial phenomenon with over 30 million copies sold, a dedicated developer, and I also think it proved to Warner Brothers that single player games can work if they're done well. Hogwarts Legacy 2 is literally one of the safest bets in the industry, and I think Harry Potter games are in general as well. While a sale of WB does introduce risks of future games, the chances of an acquisition right now happening and affecting Hogwarts Legacy 2 is so incredibly low. Like, they're probably not going to want to touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. They're going to just let Avalanche cook, and hopefully lightning in a bottle strikes once again. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. Obviously, I love Hogwarts Legacy. I can't wait for the second one. I really hope we get some teaser next year. Like, we didn't get the definitive edition or any of the DLC stuff like that. Just tell us that the game is still ongoing, that it is in full development still. Like, that alone would satiate me. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. Are you guys excited for Hogwarts Legacy 2? Are you concerned about the potential acquisition affecting the future of Harry Potter in video games? Sound off in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel with your noties on, and until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Mischief managed.